Hello everyone and welcome to Current Affairs. This week we'll look into the current affairs of March 3rd week. Let's start. The first news of week 3 is non-lapsable capital fund account. This is being recommended by Defense Ministry to Finance Ministry. Whatever is the budget allocated to the concerned ministry lapses at the end of the financial year. This means that the concerned ministry has to return the money meant for capital allocation. For example, if 100 rupees is allotted to defense ministry and if the defense ministry spends only 50 rupees out of it, the remaining 50 should be returned to finance ministry and again the new budget allocation takes place. This is a rule of business. This is being followed since British era. Now, any major defense purpose often takes years to complete, but budget allocation ends and ministry has to return the unused funds. This means it is difficult for Ministry of Defense to complete major defense deals. So to overcome this problem, Ministry of Defense sent a proposal to Ministry of Finance to set up the non-lapsable capital fund account, or it is also called as a non-lapsable defense monetization fund. According to this, whatever money is left to return gets added to the next year budget, which is called as rollover fund. I will give you an example to understand. Take that in 2013-14 budget allotted for defense to be 100 rupees. Now Ministry of Defense has spent 75 rupees out of 100. This means next year the amount which is 25 has to be returned to Ministry of Finance and again a new budget allocation will take place. But if non-lapsable capital fund is set up, Ministry of Defense will use the remaining 25 rupees which it had to return to Finance Ministry. This will be used even next year, which will be there in fund separately, and also it will get additional fund in the budget. So including the remaining amount which was 25, the new budget also it will be getting. In case of financial sanctions for individual procurement, then there are two cases. That is, from rupees 500 to 1000 crores, the approval is done by Finance Ministry. Above rupees 1000 crore, the approval is to be done by that is Cabinet Committee on Security. And even here, Finance Minister is a member. What is non-lapsable capital fund account? It is a non-lapsable fund, as the name suggests, and it is a rollover fund. Whatever is left is rolled over. It is a capital fund meant for defense capability development and infrastructure projects. If the fund allotted in the financial year is not utilized, it has to be returned to Finance Ministry. Delay in the process of financial sanctions for individual procurement proposals. So this stack of rollover fund will help in all these and will help in overcoming all these delays. But these delays are due to two reasons. One is bureaucratic interruptions and one more reason is Ministry of Finance needs these returned funds to meet the FD targets, that is fiscal deficit targets. Why are the delays happening? One reason is due to bureaucratic challenges and the other reason, as I said earlier, is Ministry of Finance needs that excess fund which will be returned by other ministries to meet the fiscal deficit challenge. Now what are the solutions for this? First one is finance sanctions by Ministry of Finance before the contracts itself. After the deal is done with some firm, the proposal for Finance Ministry can be sent, which sanctions before signing contracts. This will help in quicker sanctions. The second one, as we read, is rollover fund to utilize in future. That is setting up of non-lapsable capital fund account, which has the unspent and can be utilized for the capital expenditure, like any deal with firms like arms, ammunitions, deals of flights, planes, etc. Kailash Satyarthi. Who is Kailash Satyarthi? He is an Indian child rights and education advocate. He is an activist against child labor. He founded Bachpan Bachao Andolan in 1980. He received the Nobel Peace Prize in 2014, which was shared with Malala Yousafzai. What happened is Kailash Satyarthi's original Nobel citation was stolen from his apartment in Delhi. Recently, police found it to be dumped near some forest, which is nearby to Delhi. Kailash Satyarthi is an electrical engineer who gave up his engineering job in 1980, and he founded this Bachpan Bachao Andolan in 1980, which fights for child rights. The most important point about Kailash Satyarthi is that it is because of him that International Labour Organization or ILO adopted Convention 182, which says that is all the member countries has to take immediate action to curb worst form of labor. So the important point is International Labour Organization adopted Convention 182. That is, it says the Convention 182 says that the country has to take immediate action to curb worst form of labor. So cannabis grown illegally. This is another news. It was grown in drought-hit regions of Western Ghats. Western Ghats is a rainfall-rich region, but due to persistent droughts in 2-3 years, it has compelled suffering farmers to shift in cultivation. Farmers are given cannabis or ganja and are paid advance to grow them in the paddy field, ginger field, and in the adjoining forest. This is due to drought. The main reason for this being drought. During past two monsoons, we have seen a rainfall deficient. That is, the rainfall is deficient. The rainfall's deficiency is ranging from 26 to 37%, leading to drying up. So why are cannabis or this ganja grown? Because if a farmer grows 100 kg of paddy, he gets 2,800 rupees. If he grows 100 kg of ginger, he gets 15,000 rupees. But if he grows ganja just for 1 kg, he will be getting 20,000 rupees. We have also seen in news that there were so many fires happening, almost 4 fires around Karnataka's forests. That is, the recent fires in the areas also affected their cultivation. Farmers need to be compensated and awareness towards this has to be set up for the illegal growth. The farmers who were caught for this were arrested under Gundas Act, that is Karnataka Prevention of Dangerous Activities of Bootleggers, Drug Offenders, Gamblers, Gundas, Immoral Traffic Offenders and Slum Grabbers Act. The next news is related to northern province of Sri Lanka. The civil war in the northern province of Sri Lanka ended in 2009. Since then, there has been lesser which is done for the people there. That is, lesser has been done for the north people of Sri Lanka. About 10 lakh of them are Tamils. There is labor force and also resource which needs better coordination from the government to have a beautiful living for the people living in the region. They have been taking loans and have no ways or means to pay it back. Former president, that is Mahinda Rajapaksa, brought connectivity to the north from south through roads, as you can see in the map, but not much in economy for them. Mahinda Rajapaksa, what he did was he bought the connectivity from south of Sri Lanka to the north because it was a little isolated, but he did not do anything much for the economy of the north. That is being the major region that being the major reason why he lost his election to Maithripala Sirisena. So now the present president, who is Maithripala Sirisena, is trying to bring new development programs. Agriculture and fishery are two important occupations of the people here, which has to be focused on. Garments factories has to be set up so that women can get involved in the economy. Cement, tiles, and chemical factories can be restarted, which were affected during the civil war in this region. These help people to have a better living rather than being under loans and no means to pay it back. We'll do two organizations today. One is Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, and the another one is Tea Board of India. Nothing much to read about this rather than the facts. That is, this IRDAI is an autonomous body, a statutory body. That is, it has come to an existence by an act in the Parliament. Which act? Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority Act of 1999. It is headquartered in Delhi, and what it does is it regulates, promotes the insurance and reinsurance industries of India. The second one is Tea Board of India. This was a lot in news, so there is probability of this being asked in some exams. This is state agency of Government of India, and the goal of this agency is to promote the cultivation, processing, and domestic trade, also the export of tea. It is established by Tea Act in 1953. Its headquarters is in Kolkata, and it assigns certification numbers to exports of certain tea merchants. Next one is RBI has new rule for NBFCs. What are NBFCs? That is non-banking finance companies. These are similar to banks, but they are different from bank in this thing. That is, they don't give loan for agriculture, for construction or sale of immovable properties. They were registered under Companies Act of 1956. The loans, advances and acquisition of shares. Okay. NBFCs issues gold loans through checks if the amount is above 1 lakh. Now they have to give checks for the amount above 20,000. This was not acceptable for NBFCs because most of the loans which will be taken through this gold were ranges between 30,000 to 40,000, and they were issuing these in cash only before, but now as we are moving towards cashless economy, the RBI has reduced it from 1 lakh to 20,000. So for every loan given above 20,000, NBFCs has to issue checks. The last news is that attendance register in state legislature. That is, members will lose their daily allowance if they come late, that is late by 1 hour. Mandatory for every member to sign the attendance register both in the morning and evening within an hour of the commencement of the session. This was done by our speaker in state legislature. The last part is miscellaneous sections, and here I'll tell you just the one-liners which will be very useful in multiple choice questions for all the exams. Annabhagya scheme, that is food grains. It is increased from 5 kg per month to 7 kg per month. This was done in budget. Bhagya Jyoti scheme, that is electricity, free electricity. How much free? Up to 40 units. So the development corporations for OBC communities, will be set up. Any kid of this community who gets into IIT or IIM or IISc will receive 2 lakh rupees as an incentive, that is one time. The cloud seeding in drought hit places. Wherever there is drought, there will be cloud seeding, which brings artificial rainfall. The next one is 0% interest on crop loans for women self-help groups. KIA, that is Kempegowda International Airport, has been named as best regional airport in India and in Central Asia. This was named by Skytrax. Skytrax was the agency which named it. Okay, who is the first Chief Minister of Karnataka? It was K.C. Reddy. There are 49 new taluks which will be created in 21 districts. Who is father of Shivaji? It was Shahaji Maharaj. And why is this important? Because a tomb of Shahaji Maharaj will be built at Hodigere near Davangere. The next one is Matru Purna program, that is hot cooked meal to pregnant and lactating mothers in all district, and this will be provided starting from July this year. Kshira Bhagya scheme, That is 5 days a week. Milk will be given to Anganwadis. Before it was every alternate day. What was the what is the GDP of the state? It was 6.9% in 2016-2017, and that is gross state domestic product. So nearly 200 kilometers of footpath will be developed. Karnataka's first desalination plant will be set up in Mangalore. What is desalination plant? That is removal of salt from seawater. Yuva Yuga program, training to 110,000 persons in IT, electronics and animation. This is for skill development. There has been some grants for festivals also, and one of that is National Annual Surfing Festival, and this will be held at Sasihitlu Beach, which is in Mangalore. The last one is the solar powered bore wells will be provided for all the animals to get them off the thirst. Please follow our Instagram page, that is Karnataka Exams, and Facebook page, that is Karnataka Exams, which you can see here. Here we post daily current affairs which are very necessary, and also other things which are important for our exam. Thank you. I'll see you people in the next video.